What if every enormous threat brought 2 more spells with it? This is Zhulodok refurbished, a colorless commander deck that turns 7 mana haymakers into chain reactions, then backs them up with multiple infinite mana engines. It can bury a table under Eldrazi cast triggers, lock combat with Void Winnower, or draw the entire deck with Staff of Domination. Welcome to the ManaForge. Let's open the gates and see how this machine really works. Zhulodok is a 6 mana 7/4. While it is in play, every colorless spell you cast from your hand with mana value 7 or greater gains Cascade. Zhulodok itself costs 6, so it never supplies its own fireworks. The important word is mana value. Urza's Incubator, Ujin, and the other reducers can make a 10-drop dramatically cheaper without changing that 10 on the card. Darksteel Monolith can cast 1 for 0, and Molecule Man can give the first card you draw Miracle 0. If that spell is still cast from your hand, Zhulodok gives it both Cascade triggers. Spells cast from your library or exile remain powerful, but they do not qualify. The first stage is Acceleration. Ancient Tomb, Mana Vault, Sol Ring, Ujin's Labyrinth, Basalt Monolith, and Metalworker all jump the curve. Then the reducers take over. It that heralds the end, Cloud Key, Foundry Inspector, Herald's Horn, Jwara's Familiar, Urza's Incubator, and Ujin the Ineffable turn the heavy end of the deck into castable threats. The best opening does not merely produce Zhulodok on schedule, it produces Zhulodok with a 7+ spell still in hand. Unless the table is shields down, avoid spending 6 mana on your commander and passing. Build the engine first, then cast Zhulodok when you can immediately collect value. Colorless decks need deliberate card flow, and this list has several layers. The One Ring is the blunt instrument. Mystic Forge casts artifacts and colorless spells from the top. Sensei's Divining Top fixes the next 3 cards, which can improve a Cascade before the big spell is cast. Chimel, Palantir, Planetarium of Wan Shitong, War Room, and the 3 Kozileks keep cards moving. Remember that a spell cast from the top with Mystic Forge or Planetarium does not receive Zhulodok's Cascade. Molecule Man takes a different route. The first card you draw each turn can gain Miracle 0, and Miracle casts the card from your hand. With top available on an opponent's turn, even an Eldrazi Titan can arrive for free and still Cascade twice. Once Zhulodok is active, the mana value of the original spell determines every Cascade. A 7-drop can only reveal something costing 6 or less. A 10-drop can also find the deck's 7, 8, and 9 mana threats. That makes the top end an interconnected payload rather than a pile of dead cards. Sire of 7 Deaths is the clean 7 mana floor. Cityscape Leveler, Portal to Phyrexia, the Ujins, and the Eldrazi Titans are devastating hits from larger spells. Cascade is optional, so you can decline a badly timed board wipe. And because Cascade and the Eldrazi abilities trigger when the spell is cast, countering the original threat does not remove those triggers from the stack. Echoes of Eternity is the most explosive multiplier. It costs 6, so Zhulodok will not cascade into action when Echoes itself is cast. But afterward, a 7+ colorless spell has 2 Cascade abilities, and Echoes makes each one trigger an additional time. That means 4 Cascade resolutions. Echoes also copies the original colorless spell. A copied permanent spell resolves as a token, although that copy was not cast, and creates no new Cascade or cast trigger. The original Ulamog cast trigger is a triggered ability of a colorless spell, so Echoes doubles that too. Roaming Throne is narrower. Choosing Eldrazi doubles appropriate battlefield triggers, but it does not recreate this spell on the stack Cascade engine. Basalt Monolith has 2 independent infinite mana partners. With Forsaken Monument, tapping Basalt produces 4 colorless mana. Untapping it costs 3, so every cycle gains 1. With Rings of Bright Hearth, begin with Basalt tapped. Pay 3 to activate its untap ability, then pay 2 to copy that non-mana ability with Rings. Let the copy untap Basalt, tap it for 3, let the original ability untap it, and tap it for another 3. You spent 5 and made 6, again gaining 1 each cycle. Rings cannot copy Basalt's mana ability, it copies the untap ability, which is exactly what the loop needs. Staff of Domination then converts unlimited colorless mana into unlimited life, control of combat, and enough card draw to assemble the finish. The second mana loop uses Metalworker and Staff of Domination. Reveal 3 artifacts to make 6. Spend 3 through Staff to untap Metalworker, then 1 to untap Staff itself. Every pass nets 2 mana. Once the pool is unlimited, Staff draws the library. There is also a compact card flow engine, Mystic Forge, Sensei's Divining Top, and any reducer that makes top cost 0. Tap top to draw, place it on the library, then cast it from the top for 0 through Forge. Repeat to draw through the deck. This loop is naturally limited by the cards remaining, so stop before an empty library draw. With Glaring Fleshraker in play, every repeated colorless cast creates an Eldrazi spawn, and those creature entries drain the entire table. The fair finish is still profoundly unfair. Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, exiles 2 permanents on cast. Ulamog, the Infinite Jaya, destroys 1 and attacks with Annihilator 4. Ulamog, the Defiler, removes half a library before becoming an enormous Annihilator threat. Kozilek refills the hand, and the Great Distortion turns spare cards into counterspells. Emrakul either steals an opponent's turn or takes their entire creature army. Blightsteel Colossus creates a one-hit infect clock, while Void Winnower prevents even-valued spells and blockers from answering cleanly. Akroma's Memorial is the bridge from setup to lethal combat, giving the colorless army haste, flying, trample, vigilance, and multiple protections. Summon, Bahamut offers a different ending by converting the total mana value of your board into damage to every opponent. The interaction is expensive, but it is attached to the deck's plan. All is Dust leaves most of this battlefield untouched. Ujin, the Spirit Dragon, clears colored permanents, while the newer Ujin repeatedly exiles them as colorless spells are cast. Cityscape Leveler, both classic Ulamogs, Portal to Phyrexia, Scour from Existence, and Desecrate Reality remove problem pieces at the top of the curve. Warping Whale is the small but crucial safety valve. It can counter a sorcery, exile a tiny utility creature, or make emergency mana. Lightning Greaves, Commander's Plate, Eldritch Immunity, and a frequently free Knot of this world protect the commander and the decisive combo turn. The land base is an engine of its own. Cloudpost, Glimmerpost, and Trenchpost scale with every locus, while Vesuva and Thespian Stage create extra copies, and Deserted Temple untaps the best producer. The 3 Tron lands support Urza's Workshop, which can generate colorless mana for every Urza land once Metalcraft is online. Ancient Tomb, Eldrazi Temple, Shrine of the Forsaken Gods, Ujin's Labyrinth, and Eye of Ujin accelerate the creature plan. Sanctum of Ujin turns any 7+ cast into the next colorless creature. Inventor's Fair finds the artifact half of a combo. Cavern of Souls usually names Eldrazi. The cost of all this utility is exposure to non-basic land hate. The deck plays only 3 wastes, so protect the lands that matter and avoid committing every premium producer without a reason. A strong opening hand needs acceleration, something productive to do before turn 6, and a payoff, not 3 Titans and a prayer. Sequence permanent reducers before Zhulodok when pressure is low. Against open mana, either protect the commander or wait until the same turn can produce a 7+ spell. The deck is powerful, but it is not competitive EDH speed. Its cheap instant interaction is narrow, and repeated commander removal is expensive. Null Rod-style effects, mass artifact removal, exile-based answers, and non-basic land hate can all attack the infrastructure. Cascade is also not mandatory. Decline a free-all is dust when your board is already winning. Homeward Path answers stolen creatures, Scavenger Grounds checks graveyard decks, and Command Beacon can rescue Zhulodok from punishing command attacks. The deck rewards patience right up until the turn it rewards excess. Zhulodok Refurbished combines the spectacle of Battlecruiser Commander with the precision of a real combo deck. Every reducer preserves the mana value, every Titan carries 2 extra spells, and several small artifact packages threaten unlimited mana or a full library draw. If you enjoyed this deck tech, subscribe to the ManaForge and tell us which commander should enter the Forge next. The complete architect list is linked below. Until next time, build boldly, sequence carefully, and make the void do the rest.